What's up, everybody? We're wrapping up this Pelicans and Jazz game right now, so I'm going to put some music on, let some people join, and let's go. Grab my headphone real quick. What up, Parker? What up, bro? Alright, so I took the Pelicans, and it's 104-102 Pelicans down to. Braves are 2-0 right now, guys. So if you're watching the Braves and coming to watch it, man, thank y'all for watching. Alright. I need a 3 right here. Take it to the rack. Oh. Oh my God. Come on, Ingram. Don't go for the 3. Drive it. What? Did they call a foul? Alright, guys. So, hey, we're finishing up 32 seconds. Utah Jazz. New Orleans Pelicans right now. It's 104-102. So, this is a close game so far right now. Also, the Braves are up 2-0 on the Rays. If it changes, guys, comment down below. Let me know. Testing. Alright, so 104, 103, 32 seconds. This is wild. I got the reflection back here. How y'all doing tonight? Y'all doing good? Okay. Knockdown. 104, 104. Parker, you don't know who this is playing right here. You don't know nothing about this. You ain't about this 21 Pilots life. Get out of here. Hey, if you join in, let me know, guys. Let me know what y'all want to talk about. We got Braves baseball, NFL coming tonight. We're going to talk NFL, NBA, MLB, college football, Atlanta Braves. Let's do it. Post your questions down below. Don't forget to hit the like button for the page. Don't forget to like this post, share it, and let's roll. Alright, let me check this Braves game real quick. Alright, so I got the Braves game on one channel. 2-1. Bottom of the 7th. Good pitching game right now. Max Fried's looked really good tonight. Dansby's up. Struck him out outside corner. Alright. Alright. Alright, guys. So, hey, we're about to get started here in just a second, alright? Alright. Kicking It Crowder begins in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, and what's up? Welcome to Kicking It with Crowder, episode 46. Guys, NBA bubble play began tonight. Right now, as I speak, the Jazz are up 104. Actually, it's tied 104-104 with the New Orleans Pelicans. Mike Conley drives. He actually misses. He kicks it out. We may have a buzzer beater on the opening night of the NBA bubble. So this is pretty awesome right here. Donovan Mitchell drives. He dishes it. Ooh, he blocked it. Oh, they called a foul. Oh, I don't agree with that. But anyways, guys, NBA bubble play today. 2 games going on. Pelicans were favored in this one by 3 points. I think it went down to 2 right before the game. So it's back. And then the LA Lakers are 6-point favorites against the Clippers tonight. So really excited to see these 2 games. I know a bunch of people are excited. Basketball is back as well as Major League Baseball. So we'll dive into some of the biggest storylines of the first week for the Major League Baseball. Also, we'll talk ATL Braves. Of course, the Mike Foltynewicz, kind of getting rid of him. And then also the return of Nick Markakis. We'll talk both those things a little later on. And also the SEC and the ACC both today announced schedules. 10 games for the SEC and 11 for the ACC. So kind of interesting that the ACC did not, or I'm sorry, the SEC did not have 11 games. I'm kind of shocked that happened. That's going to prevent a lot of rivalries from happening this year. But you'll have a Georgia team going to Missouri, but you can't go play Georgia Tech. So that doesn't make much sense to me. We'll talk a little bit about that and what the biggest impacts are made by this decision. And then plus Notre Dame joins the ACC. Notre Dame has always wanted to remain a independent, but now when they need a conference, the ACC lets them in, and Notre Dame will now play an 11-game or a 10-game ACC schedule with another game added in, and they can compete for the ACC championship. So ACC scraps the they go ahead and scrap the divisions, and they just go ahead and play. It is just best record. Best 2 teams with the winning percentages get into the championship game. So going to be an exciting season from the SEC and the ACC, okay? Also, last but not least, the NFL 100 list came out. This is, of course, the list that is voted on upon the players. And, we have some things to talk about here in a little bit because there were some players left off and did not agree with some of the lists. Patrick Mahomes at 4. Let's be honest, he is the most electric and the best player in the NFL. It's not even close. To me, Lamar Jackson, nothing against you, my friend. You are also a top 5 player in this league as well, but I just would rather have Patrick Mahomes coming off a Super Bowl championship, and I'd rather have him at 1. But it's not my list. It's the players, and they voted against him. So we'll dive into all that a little bit later. Oh, he missed it. Oh. So the Jazz beat the New Orleans Pelicans 106-104. Brandon Ingram with a in-and-out shot at the very end. Tough break for the Pelicans on opening night. They were winning almost the entire game, kind of choked in the fourth quarter. What's up, Dad? Thanks for watching. And guys, we'll talk NBA, MLB, NFL, college football. We get into all that tonight on Kicking It with Crowder. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. All that jazz. You can also find me. I'm also on Apple. I am on Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, YouTube, and Twitter as well. On Twitter, you can find me at Kick It With Crow, okay? So we'll go ahead and dive into the show tonight. If you're just joining the show, the Atlanta Braves are up 2-1 on the Tampa Bay Rays, bottom of the 7th, 1 out, man on first. And also the NBA, the Pelicans just lost on a buzzer beater. Brandon Ingram missed a buzzer beater to beat the Jazz, pulled up for a 3, missed a shot, and tough break for the Pelicans, who are 3.5 games back coming into today, now lose another game. Going to be very hard for them to catch the Grizzlies or the Blazers at this point. Zion Williamson, 6 for 8 field goals, 13 points, also did not play much in the fourth quarter, only played 15 minutes in the game, looked very frustrated on the sideline. And he's just returning to the bubble, and I know you're taking it precautionary with him, but, we want to see Zion Williamson. Not sure that game would have turned out like that if he would have been on the court. Also tonight, NBA returns Lakers and Clippers, and we're going to see LeBron James and Anthony Davis take on Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, a Western Conference Finals preview possibly. Just depends on what's going to happen, and I really think that the Lakers are going to miss Avery Bradley. They're going to miss a Rajon Rondo. and it really hurts them in the 7-8 games they have, and then also possibly the first round, who they'll be matched up with. They'll probably win the first round and give it to them in the first round, but come second round, I mean, the West is very deep this year. You could look at maybe a Houston team in the second round, a Nuggets team in the second round. Lakers are going to have their hands full, and I like the Clippers tonight, -6. I'm going to go. I'm sorry. The Lakers are -6, and the Clippers are +6, guys. So I like the Clippers tonight, +6. I'm actually wouldn't be surprised if the the Clippers pulled an upset against their cross-gym rival. Can't even say cross-town because they literally share the same stadium, same arena. So Lakers, Clippers tonight in Orlando, in the bubble, and I'm going to take the Clippers +6. Definitely like Clippers +6. If you want to bet on the money line, win a little bit more money, go ahead and take them straight up. I think it's a good bet. Anthony Davis, is going on with an eye issue. LeBron James, first game back from taking, a 4 or 5 month hiatus. And he's 35 years old, so let's see how his body reacts tonight. I'm sure, knowing LeBron James, he'll be just fine. The guy is a freak athlete. So the NBA, man, Adam Silver, they went ahead and got it done. The bubble is working. 0 positive tests since like July 20th. So you got to give it up to the NBA. The bubble in the Major League Baseball, though, is not really working. They don't have a bubble, and they're going to city, and they're taking all these flights, and maybe players, aren't really quarantined. They can kind of do what they want. And the Miami Marlins have 19 positive tests this week. 19 positive tests on a team of 30, okay? And 2 staff members. So over 20 people have tested positive, and they're trying to link it to a possible strip club incident in Atlanta when they played their last exhibition game with the Braves. Have not confirmed that report, but that's what I'm hearing. That possibly is what happened. And 12 players, I think 7 players tested positive, then it was 5, and then it was 2, and now it's 1 and 1. I mean, it's a lot. It's a big, big issue. The Marlins are kind of shutting it down for a week. All their games have been canceled. Schedules have been shuffled. And it's kind of crazy seeing that this is serious right now. I mean, you really need to wear your mask. You need to also kind of social distance, because I mean, if one person can get this and then infect 19 people in a one clubhouse, I mean, I hope that Major League Baseball can kind of contain this, but we will see. I'm not sure what will happen. So that's definitely been the story of the week. The Marlins COVID outbreak, 19 players so far this week test positive, and also 2 staff members. But the Philadelphia Phillies, who they played in the series, in the opening series of the year, none of their players or staff members have tested positive. So interesting right there, what's going on. And then also Joe Kelly in Major League Baseball, biggest storyline so far. Joe Kelly suspended 8 games in a 60-game season. I mean, you're talking about, this is compared to 162, this is 20-something games. I mean, this is a long suspension for Joe Kelly, who did not hit any Astro batters, but did throw at Alex Bregman on a 3-0 count, kind of dusted him off the plate, and then also threw high on Carlos Correa as well. And instead of hitting him, he ended up striking him out, taunted him. It was pretty awesome, not going to lie. Joe Kelly actually pitched for the Red Sox back then, not the Dodgers. So, it just goes to prove. I mean, everyone's upset about what the Astros did. And I heard a really good joke last night when Jose Altuve struck out. The announcer said, "Oh, he's just guessing up there." And the other announcer said, "Well, it's a lot harder to hit when you don't know what's coming." And, that's just true, If these guys know what's coming every single pitch, you're going to be a lot better baseball player. That's just a proven fact. And what they did was wrong. And then Joe Kelly gets suspended 8 games. The Astro players get suspended no games. So really unique situation. Joe Kelly has appealed the suspension, so he was available last night. I do not think he pitched, but he was available. So interesting stuff coming out of Major League Baseball. Rob Manfred always seems to drop the ball on suspensions and coming back to play. I mean, just not a huge fan of Bud Selig, I wasn't a huge fan of him. Was not a huge fan of Rob Manfred as well. But that's just me. Other people may like him, but I just don't like him that much. I think the MLB needs a new face, and we'll see what happens in the future. But I'm sure he wants to hold on to that job as long as he possibly can. But people don't have to like you for you to do your job, so I understand that as well. The Braves guys are 3-3 on the season right now. They are in the top of the 8th inning, 2-1 over the Tampa Bay Rays. Max Fried was pitching really, really good to start the game, and now it's up to the bullpen. Luke Jackson, guys, close your ears. Luke Jackson is in the game right now as we speak. He is pitching 0-2 count to the first batter, and some shocking news came out of the third game of the season. Mike Foltynewicz, who was an All-Star in 2018, really, really came on last year in the second half after getting hurt earlier in the season. Actually started 2 games in the playoffs for the Atlanta Braves, and of course he had the terrible start in Game 5, which ended up being a victory by the St. Louis Cardinals. We're up 9-0 while he was in the game. He also comes out in the Expedition games, gives up a back-to-back home runs against the Miami Marlins, then gives up back-to-back shots the other day as well. And I mean, at this point, we don't have time to mess around, and I definitely understood why the Braves just DFA'd him during the game. They designated him for assignment, I think, during the game. I think they decided that during the game. As soon as the game was over, Snedeker came and gave, what's up, Jordan? Came back and gave him back to back one game, and then back to back, okay? Run it back like Drake, back to back. And I'm telling you, he did not look like he had his stuff. He normally averages about a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He's throwing 89-mile-an-hours, and he just looked skinny, and he just didn't look the same. I went off on Twitter. I was super mad at him. And then as soon as the game over, boom, designated for assignment. But here's the news. No one actually claimed him. Okay, I think it was more about a salary in this season, when money and things are very, very scarce right now. No one claims Mike Foltynewicz. They don't work out a trade for him, so he gets sent down to the AAA or the 60-man roster. He'll still pitch and try to hopefully get his mechanics right. So you may have not seen the last of Mike Foltynewicz in a Braves uniform. Maybe not yet, okay? So just hold your horses on that. And then Nick Markakis, the Braves got a shot in the arm last night before they stepped in to the game last night at Truist Park. Nick Markakis opts back into his contract, wants to finish his. He just said he couldn't watch his guys go out there and struggle. And even though it was only 5 games, they were 2-3. Nick Markakis changes his mind on the season and now opts back in, giving the Braves a reliable right fielder who can play against right-handed pitchers, who is going to work counts, who is also a great guy to have in the locker room, a 12-year veteran, over 2,000 hits in his career. Just a guy that you can, pencil in the lineup if you're Brian Snedeker, possibly in the 5, 6, 7 hole, and he's going to come to play every time he's in the lineup. And he doesn't have to play every day like he used to. He just doesn't have to do that on this team. And with a team with Austin Riley, Matt Adams, also Austin Riley, Matt Adams, and then Adam Duvall. I mean, these guys are, they're hit or miss. I mean, they're either striking out a few times or they're hitting home runs. I mean, that's what these guys are. They're home run hitters. And this Braves team has struck out 65 times through 6 games. Which is very, very high for this team. Braves normally do not strike out this much. They normally put the ball in play. Players like Acuna Jr. has just been behind. He's just been a little off. Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman did get going last night, but the night before struck out 4 times. So, we got to put the ball in play, guys. We got to win these 3-2 ball games, these 2-1 ball games. And I don't think we have any problems with Mike Soroka and Max Fried on the mound. But the biggest concern to me for the Atlanta Braves right now is that starting rotation. Not only did you designate for assignment Mike Foltynewicz, Sean Newcomb's going off a game where, yes, we won the game against the New York Mets, but he did not pitch very good, did not get out of the 3rd inning, or if it was a 3rd, he got through the 4th, didn't get through the 4th inning. Okay, either went 3 or 4 innings, walked some guys, And I like Newcomb. I really do. He's got great stuff, but sometimes he just leaves you scratching your head and leaves a lot to be desired. That's why I kind of like him coming more out of the bullpen, being that guy who, if your starter doesn't give you good innings, he can come in the 5th, 6th, 7th inning and give your other guys a day off, put your setup man and get your closer in there. And then also you got Kyle Wright, who, for 2 innings the other night looked like a major league starter. And then, come the 3rd inning, he couldn't get out of it. 3 walks, 5 earned runs, and Snitker had to take him out. But through 2 innings, the guy looks, he looks like Roy Halladay. He has the stuff. He was a 5th overall pick in the MLB draft out of Vanderbilt, a program that has put guy after guy in the MLB. David Price, Walker Buehler. These guys coming from Vanderbilt, Dansby Swanson. The list goes on. I could keep going about all these Vandy guys, but Kyle Wright needs to step up, or I think he could possibly be a trade piece at the deadline. I've been saying this for a while. I think the Braves need a guy to go in with Max Fried. They need a guy who can compare to Mike Soroka. When you see the Braves, you're going to get 6 innings of this guy every single time he comes out, and the Braves have missed that for a while out of their number 3, 4 starter. And that's the biggest concern for me for the Atlanta Braves. I know the pitchers have the advantage right now in the early beginning of the season, so I'm going to give the bats a pass right now. But, guys, 60-game season, we've already played 1/10 of our season, so we got to get this thing going. The Atlanta Braves love playing at home in Truist Park, and we wish the fans could be there, guys. But they have a lot of support. Was actually down there at the Battery last night, filming some content, getting some good shots out there, interviewing some people. And I'm telling you guys, the Braves fans are out there. They're excited for baseball to be back in Atlanta. And the Braves, we got all your support, guys. Braves, we got all the support in the world. Yes, we may be tough on you at times, but we know how good you can be. Let's bring a championship to Atlanta. Okay, guys? So Braves, that's your Braves information right now. And then I'm going to dive into what happened today in college football. The ACC the SEC, guys, announcing today that they will only play a 10-game schedule. They will play their normal conference games, and then they will add some teams as well. They're going to add, I think Georgia's going to add like Arkansas and Mississippi State, but then you got teams like Alabama are going to have to add Florida. And, the road in the SEC just got tougher for some teams in the East that are going to have to cross over and play some of these powerhouses from the West that normally you miss on every given year, but this year you're going to play them. And I can't wait to see all the schedules actually released. And the ACC guys have already released their schedule, 11-game ACC schedule with Notre Dame included. So Notre Dame has, bowed out of all these conferences, never wanted to join a conference, kind of has been in the ACC the last few years, playing 5 games a year. Well, now the ACC says, come on, Notre Dame, come on over and join our conferences for this one season. We'll throw out the divisions, and we'll just play best 2 teams get into the championship. And Notre Dame pulled a power move, and I think it's going to benefit them. They will play Clemson in the regular season, but that may be their toughest game. They may get to play Clemson again at the end of the season, but watch for a team like North Carolina, who is a very, very good team this year, will be a very, very good team under Mac Brown this year. Look for UNC to compete with the best teams in the ACC this year. So you got 3 teams, I think, who are going to be any good in the ACC. Clemson, Notre Dame, and then also North Carolina. Florida State, Mike Norvell, coming off a coaching change, also coming off with the pandemic that's been going on. And then they have to go to Notre Dame as well now. They get added in and play a North Carolina team. It just got a little bit harder for the Seminoles, but I look for them to improve this year. Okay? And improvement would just be lining up right, running the right play, and cut down on the penalties. That would be improvement this year. Because last year, you didn't know what was going on. It was sad in many situations last year, last 2 years, last 3 years for the Seminoles. I'm hoping Mike Norvell and some of these grad transfers, some of these guys who have played at other programs, can come in, bring some leadership to them, and FSU can compete for, 8 wins this year. That would be fabulous if FSU could go 8-3. That would just be improvement, and I would be a happy FSU Seminole fan at the end of the day. But guys, with this announcement, no SEC, no ACC crossover games, you're losing a bunch of games. You've already lost UGA Virginia. Now you're losing UGA Georgia Tech. You're losing FSU Florida. You're losing Louisville Kentucky. I mean, you're losing a lot of these games. Clemson South Carolina. I mean, these are some. What's up, Buck? These are some very big games that are going to be. You're not going to see this year. Georgia Tech's played every year for like 100 years, and they're not going to play this year, which is probably good for Georgia Tech because I'm telling you, Georgia's going to be a hungry program led by probably Jamie Newman this year. I really like him to win the starting job. Kirby Smart and that defense are only going to improve this year. So maybe a good thing that Georgia Tech doesn't see Georgia this year. But, big announcement. I really thought that the SEC would kind of go along with what the ACC did and play an 11-game schedule with one crossover game. But it does look, Jordan, it does look like the football season will happen. Like it will go on. Fans will probably not be in the stands at least for a few months. But here's another thing, guys. It's going to start getting cold here in a few months. It's hot right now. We're in the middle of the summer, or probably at the end of summer. But it's going to start getting cold come September, October, November. And this is really when you got to watch out. And you're going to see some of these cases possibly rise, some of these corona stuff. So, man, it's wild times, guys. Stay safe, stay social distance, and stay with your mask on. You know what I mean? Future, mask on, mask off. Let's go. Okay? So, college football. So we've talked college football. We've talked a little bit of NBA. Talked a little bit of MLB so far, the hot storyline so far in the season. But now I want to dive in, last but not least, I want to dive into the NFL Top 100. And, man, the Matt Ryan disrespect it's not only in the media. It's not only, team guys getting on Twitter and kind of running their mouth. It's not people who watch the game. It's coming from players who play against Matt Ryan. Okay? And, let me search this real quick. Matt Ryan, top 100. All right. So Matt Ryan, guys, gets left off the top 100 players, a list he's been on since 16, 17, 18. He's been on the list the last 4 years, I believe. Been as high as, I think he's been in the top 10 when he won his MVP, but I think he was like, in the 60s last year. Matt Ryan left off, but Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, wait, my bad. Jimmy Garoppolo, okay, is in front of Matt Ryan at 43 on the top 100 players. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Put Matt Ryan on the San Francisco 49ers and with that defense and see what he does. I guarantee you San Francisco probably has a Super Bowl. I'm telling you right now. Matt Ryan's never had the quality offensive line or defense that Jimmy G had just this past year, and Jimmy G comes in at 43? 43? Come on now. You can't be serious. Other players who are on here, Kirk Cousins. Kirk doesn't throw the ball past 40 yards, Cousins, okay? He was on there. Also got a great run game. Got some good weapons. Stephon Diggs, Thielen, Kyle Rudolph, a good defense. He made the playoffs last year. I get it. He should be on the list. But he's in the 50s at like 59, 58 in front of Matt Ryan. And then you have Josh Allen. Josh Allen, who is a 58% passer last year. Matt Ryan, 66. Who led the league in completions last year? It wasn't Josh Allen. It was Matt Ryan. Okay? Josh Allen's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I like what he can do. He can extend some plays with his feet. He can do some other things. He's not as good as Matt Ryan. Josh Allen's not as good as Matt Ryan. Okay? And the disrespect, just to not even put him on the list, like not even put him in like the 90s. Not even put him in the 80s down there. I mean, down in the trenches. They left him off the list. What? Are you kidding me? It's just like, I think they did that on purpose. Like, I just think they did it on purpose just to see our reaction. And it's not a very good reaction. That is terrible. There's also guys like Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz, Kyler Murray. All these guys are over Matt Ryan on this list, and it's just like, what? It's like, how? And then Patrick Mahomes gets voted number 4 for the second year in a row. And, like, at first I thought about it, and I was like, well, you know, it was his first year last year. He won an MVP, and they put him 4th. It's like, okay. And then this year he misses a bunch of games, and they put him 4th again. So it's like, wait, last year he was the best player in the league, and you didn't put him at 1. This past year he misses some games. I get it. You put him at 4, but Aaron Donald, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson all in front of him. I'd rather have Pat Mahomes. Maybe Aaron Donald, if I'm building a football team and I already got a quarterback, I'd take Aaron Donald all day. Let's get that. Aaron Donald's a beast. All right? Aaron Donald is a stud. All these other guys, Russell Wilson, great player, not the number 2 player in the league. Not to me. Maybe the number 2 or 3 best quarterback in the league, but not the number 2 player in the NFL. And then Lamar Jackson coming off a huge season, won an MVP. Lamar Jackson's never even won a playoff game. 2 years now. 2 years been beat in the first round. Got beat by the Chargers. Got beat, coming off a 14-2 season now. Coming off a 14-2 season. Got beat by the Titans. He did his thing, rushing the ball. But he left some plays out there on the field. He's the number 1 player. Pat Mahomes, what does he do against Tennessee? What's he do? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. What did he do against Houston? Down 24-0. Comes back and beats them. They don't score again. Then he's down 10 against the Titans in the second half. Comes back against that. Down 10 in the Super Bowl against the Giants. Comes back. What's this guy got to do to be voted number 1? Throw 60 touchdowns like Burrow did this past year? Come on. Throw the list away. Also, Julio Jones. Come on. Ooh. Julio Jones? Put at 11? Can't even get in the top 10? George Kittle over Julio? No. Michael Thomas over Julio? No. Ooh, I swear. And then DeAndre Hopkins, I get him and Julio are right there again, but he's over Julio. Come on, man. Very mad about that. But, hey, that's the NFL Top 100 these days. One of the worst lists I've seen the past few years. Normally, they kind of get it right. But not having Matt Ryan, throw the list away, revive the list. Let's vote again. I need a revote. I need a recount. Matt Ryan needs a recount, okay? And that's really what I think right now when it comes to that situation. The NFL Top 100, though. And it's up to the players. So, I can't even, it's like I'm mad. But it's like they show super, favoritism to, their friends and maybe teammates. And it's not like a real list that I can really take serious when you don't have a guy like Matt Ryan in the top 100. Okay? Top 10, top 12, whatever quarterback. They had a bunch of quarterbacks on this list. So I don't want to hear, oh, he's not even top 10. Well, if he's top 12, he should be on there. Top 13. He's a top 10 quarterback. It's not even close. Matt Ryan should have been on the list. There are some other notable players left off. You got a guy like Logan Ryan, who's a good cornerback, made some plays last year for the Titans. He gets voted in at 60. Matt Ryan can't make the list? What? Man. And shout out to everybody who's on the list. I'm not taking nothing away from you guys. Y'all are all beasts. That's one thing I don't get up here and do. I don't talk trash. Y'all are NFL athletes. Y'all are beasts. Nothing against you guys. I'm just speaking my truths on Matt Ryan not being in the top 100. That is crazy. Okay? Absolute garbage. Should have been on the list. And that's really all I got to say on the NFL Top 100, guys. So, thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. I know sports are back. We got, I'm watching the Atlanta Braves, Tampa Bay Rays right now. 2-1. Bottom of the 8th inning. Runner on first and third right now. We got Dansby Swanson coming up on the season. 5 for 6, 2 doubles, a home run, 7 RBIs with runners in scoring position. So I hope Dansby right here gets this hit to lead the Atlanta Braves. Guys, do not forget to, if you're watching this after the fact, if I'm not here anymore and you're watching, it's not live, and you like the video, guys, don't forget to like it. don't forget to comment down below. And please, guys, follow my page at Kicking It with Crowder. I'm on Facebook at Kicking It with Crowder, on Twitter at Kicking It with Crow. I'm on YouTube at Kicking It with Crowder. I mean, I'm all over the place, guys. You can find all my content. And yeah, you're right, man. Screw the NFL. Screw them. NFL top 100? Are you kidding me? A lot of people like college more than the NFL, guys. I'm an NFL guy. I love the NFL. I love fantasy football. I love the Atlanta Falcons. I like college football, but I'm an NFL guy. But I understand why a lot of people don't like the NFL. I get it. But NFL is going to have to do the most right now with this coronavirus. They got to keep everyone safe. There's only like 40 something days till the NFL season starts. They got to get this under control. And I'm really, really excited. Sports are back, guys. NBA bubble's working. MLB is back. The protocols could 19 positive tests, but we got baseball back. And then, guys, college football, NFL, right around the corner, guys. Cannot wait, guys, to continue this show. You can find me every Wednesday at 9. Had to do it tonight because I was in Atlanta recording some content last night. But every Wednesday, 9 o'clock, you can find me. If you haven't already, subscribe to the page, subscribe to the channel, download the podcast, and let's keep it going, guys. So, hey, thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I have really enjoyed this episode. Do not forget to tune in next week, guys, and you can find me every Wednesday at 9 o'clock on Facebook Live, and then I'll edit it and everything. Braves just scored another run, it looks like. Well, oh, no, Dansby struck out. So, all right, guys, I'm out. Thanks for Kicking It with Crowder. Don't forget to comment, like, all that jazz. Let's go.